Shabbat Shalom to all of my spiritual brothers and sisters and our Lord and Master, Yeshua Messiah. Jake Hilton here with the Sword of Yehovah Ministries. Yehovah being the true and everlasting name of our Holy Father in heaven, Yehovah. And I am even coming to you today sporting my favorite t-shirt. This is the Hebrew name of our Father in heaven, Yehovah, the 4 Hebrew consonants of the Yod, He, Vav, and He, with the 3 vowel markers of the Shva, Holam, and Kamatz. You put it all together, and the correct pronunciation is Yehovah. And it was Yehovah who declared to his servant Moses, as recorded in Exodus chapter 3, verse 15, that this is my name forever. This is my memorial to all generations of time, forever and ever. In other words, this is the way that I desire to be remembered. This is my name. A name that is above all names. A name that is the greatest name in all the universe. A name which means he who was, he who is, and he who will be. He who shall be forever and ever. The existing one, he who exists, he who is, the same eternal, self-existent, unchangeable and unchanging supreme being who is the same yesterday, today, and forever. All of that is wrapped up in that beautiful and eternal name of Yehovah, our Father in heaven. And this ministry, the Sword of Yehovah Ministries, it's all about Yehovah, our eternal Father, and it's all about his sword, or his word, which comes in 2 forms: the written recorded form, which is primarily found in the Bible, and the living form, which is the image of the living form of the Word of God, is his chosen and beloved Son of Yeshua, who is the Messiah and is our Lord and Master. Yeshua is the prophet that Yehovah commanded us in Deuteronomy chapter 18 that we must shema to, we must listen and obey. And so on this day of Shabbat, the Sabbath, the 7th day of the week, I wish all of you Shabbat Shalom, peace to you on this day. And I'm coming to you this Shabbat with not so much a teaching video as more of a explanation video. I'm just going to be explaining a few things that are going to be coming up in about, we're looking at about 5, maybe 6 weeks from now. We're looking at right around September 23rd is going to be the first day of Sukkot, or the Feast of Tabernacles. Oh yes, Sukkot, the Feast of Tabernacles, is coming up. And I'm on the road currently, traveling. I live in northern Idaho, but where I am right now is in northern Utah, pretty much smack dab right between Logan, Utah in the south, and Pocatello, Idaho in the north, at a location called, if I can pronounce this correctly, Downata Hot Springs. Downata Hot Springs. That might not be, I might be slaughtering that pronunciation, but that's at least how I would pronounce it. Downata Hot Springs. And it's here, my brothers and sisters, at Downata Hot Springs, that a wonderful brother in Yeshua by the name of Kevin Skinner contacted me about, I want to say maybe 4 months ago, 5 months ago, and he said to me, Jake, you have taught multiple times the truth that the feasts and festivals of Yehovah God, the Hebrew word for feast or festival is Moedim, and that word Moedim can also be translated as assemblies or rehearsals, a time when the believers in Yehovah, the believers in his sword, in his word, both written and living word of Yehovah, it is a time when the believers are meant to gather together and rehearse these beautiful prophetic shadow pictures of good things to come. And we have the spring feasts of Yehovah, of Passover, first fruits, and unleavened bread, right there, or I should say, it's Passover unleavened bread is a week-long, feast, and then first fruits are all together in that same week, and then Pentecost is 50 days after first fruits, or Shavuot. All of those spring feasts of Yehovah, those are about the first coming of Yeshua. And then we've got the 3 festivals in the fall of trumpets, atonement, and tabernacles. Tabernacles in the Hebrew being called Sukkot. The fall feasts are all about the second coming of Yeshua. And this brother, Kevin Skinner, he approached me, honestly, again, it was about 4, maybe 5 months ago, and he says, you've taught these feasts and festivals are not so much about gathering as individual families or just celebrating the feasts and festivals as individual families, but they are about gathering together as a body of believers, multiple families, getting a community together of fellow believers, those who are of one heart and one mind, who are believers in God and believers in His Word, to celebrate these feasts and festivals, these beautiful prophetic shadow pictures, together. And it was Kevin Skinner who said, hey, there is this wonderful location that I've been to previously. It's in northern Utah. It's called Downata Hot Springs, however you pronounce it. And it's a campground. It's a beautiful site. Yes, hot springs are here. Just absolutely amazing, gorgeous hot springs. Just deliciously warm hot springs. It's a campground. There are restrooms. There is power. There is water. There are activities of volleyball and basketball and swing sets and horseshoe throwing and barbecue, fire pits. And it's an area where believers can gather together for that greatest of all the feasts and festivals of Yehovah, which is Sukkot, the Feast of Tabernacles. The Feast of Tabernacles truly is what is considered the greatest of all the feasts. It is the party of the century. It is the feast that is solely about celebration. That's what it is. It's about celebrating. And the image, the prophetic shadow picture of Sukkot, is the image that we, the righteous who are saved in Yeshua Messiah, we return to the earth that has just been cleansed by the fire of God, cleansed of all of its wickedness. We return to the earth with Yeshua, and He, Yeshua, tabernacles with us for 1,000 years in peace and rest, Sabbath rest, and righteousness prevailing over all the earth. The righteousness of Yehovah just covering the entire globe, and the earth is going to be just a paradise. It's going to be this amazing thing, and that's what the Feast of Tabernacles is pointing to. That's the prophetic shadow picture. And even the first day of the Feast of Tabernacles is technically the birthday of Yeshua. It's His birthday. Okay, so all of this, Jesus was born on December 25th, or all of this for you Mormons out there, Jesus was born on April 6th, that is nonsense. That is not the truth. No, Jesus was actually born on the first day of the Feast of Tabernacles, which was a partial fulfillment of Sukkot, when the Word of God was made flesh and He tabernacled among us. That first coming of Yeshua, there was a partial fulfillment, just a partial fulfillment of Sukkot. There will be a more complete fulfillment of Sukkot at His second coming, once again when the righteous return to inherit the earth with Him, and we rest with Him in Sabbath rest for 1,000 years. But actually the full and complete fulfillment of the Feast of Tabernacles doesn't actually happen until the end of the 8th day. The 8th day, which is called Shemini Atzeret in Hebrew, when the everlasting Father himself, Yehovah, comes. And as it says in Revelation chapter 21, that the tabernacle of God, God himself, comes and tabernacles with us. That's what Sukkot, that's what the Feast of Tabernacles is all about. And going back to the purpose of these feasts and festivals, the way that God our Father designed them, he didn't design these Moedim to be celebrated as individuals or even as individual families. But he designed the Moedim to be assemblies, gathering together entire communities of believers and followers in the way and the truth and the life, to gather together as one group, one body, to fellowship with one another, to rest together, to celebrate together, to party together, to have fun together. And it was this brother, Kevin Skinner, who suggested this location, Downata Hot Springs. And when he told me about this place 4 or 5 months ago, I just was saying, you know what, I'm fully on board with that. I want to do that. I want to participate in that. That sounds like an amazing experience. Sounds like an amazing time. And I am creating this video this week to let all of you watching know that you're invited. You're invited. If you are a believer in Yehovah God, if you are a believer in his word, and if you desire to celebrate in the feasts and festivals of Yehovah, primarily this coming one, Sukkot, with a group of believers, we don't know exactly yet how many are going to be joining, but at least right now we probably have upwards of maybe a dozen or so. We're hoping to get that number increased to 20, 30, maybe 30 plus. If you're watching and you have a desire to join us this year for Sukkot, you're invited. You're invited, and it's going to be taking place right here at Downata Hot Springs, September 23rd through, I want to say, October 2nd. I believe those are the dates. And I just wanted to create this video to show you this campground, to show you Downata Hot Springs, to let you know that for those of you out there that are really scared of the whole idea of Sukkot, the whole idea of going out and camping for a week, going out and, quote, roughing it, this isn't roughing it. This isn't roughing it. This is a nice, beautiful location, very comfortable, and we're looking to register a group area, an area that we can all be together, multiple tents together, or RVs. If you have an RV, you're welcome to bring RVs because there are RV hookups. We're looking to get this group area registered so we can all gather together, we can camp together. It's grassy, there's power hookups, there's water, there are restrooms, there is volleyball and swing sets and basketball and horseshoe throwing, and yes, there are hot springs, beautiful, deliciously warm hot springs. It's all here. And for those of you out there that once again are scared of that whole, ooh, I don't like the idea of camping for a week because I hate the idea of roughing it, you don't need to worry about that. You don't need to worry about that. As long as you are willing to celebrate Sukkot with us and chip in a little bit for the cost of covering the actual registration fees of the group campsite, well then you're welcome. You're welcome to join us. We would love to have you. And once again, we hope to get a group together of 20, 25, 30 plus people. That would be incredible. So I just want to show you this place, and hopefully it'll just inspire you. Hopefully it'll inspire you. And if you would like to make that decision that I'm going to do this, I'm going to celebrate Sukkot this year with a group of believers, then what you need to do is send me a private message on Facebook just shoot me a private message on Facebook, and I will send you a direct link to a page that's all about this upcoming Sukkot celebration and all the details and who's going to be joining and whatnot. It's by invitation only, but you're all invited. All you got to do is send me a private message. I will send you a link with that private invitation. You simply follow that link that I'll send you, confirm that you want to participate, that you're willing to help out, chip in with the financial costs of covering the campsite, and then come and join us. Come and join us at Downata Hot Springs. Once again, it's located pretty much smack dab between Logan, Utah and Pocatello, Idaho. We have brothers and sisters that are coming from near and also coming from far away to celebrate with us. Like, me, for instance, I live in northern Idaho. I want to say from here it's about 600 and probably 630 miles away. I'm coming. It's going to be great. So whether you live near or whether you live far away, if this is something you would like to do, then I hope that you will come join us. And now I just want to do just a walkthrough of Downata Hot Springs, and hopefully you'll like what you see, and it'll inspire you to come and join us this year for Sukkot. We've got sand volleyball right here, so if you're a big-time volleyball player, we can get some teams together and have a fun time with that. We've got some swings over here, swings over there, basketball. But this is kind of I would say the main play area, sport activity area. I'm going to walk you over to the camp area, the group campsite that I'm looking to rent. Once again, the dates are going to be pretty much September 23rd to September 23rd through October 2nd. And if you're looking around and you're seeing that, hey, there's a lot of RVs, there's clearly a lot of people here, and if that's something that you kind of, that would bother you, well, keep in mind that it's also pretty much the beginning of August. This is their busy season here at Downata Hot Springs. The time that we're looking at is end of September, from the very end of September. Cooler evenings, they're possibly even a little bit on the chilly side at night, but that's the awesome thing about having Sukkot, celebrating Sukkot at some hot springs. I mean, I don't know about you, but right now, when the afternoon temperatures are 95 degrees, the last thing I want to do is go, jump into a 102 degree Fahrenheit hot spring. That doesn't sound all that pleasant, but we're looking at the last week of September, and it's going to be just perfect temperatures during the day. It's going to be cool in the evening, and those hot springs are just going to be delicious. They're going to be amazing. So here at the hot springs, if you're willing to, if you don't like the idea of actually camping in a tent, they also have other things that if you are willing to pay just a little bit more, they have yurts that you can rent out. Yurts that even so comfortable, they even have air conditioning there. So they've got yurts. They also have teepees. They have teepees that you can rent out, and I suppose that would be like the ultimate Sukkot tent right there, wouldn't it? You got the Native American style teepee. Awesome tent to go to celebrate Sukkot in, and there are cots in there. All of these things, they cost more than simply having an RV that you can hook up or having your own personal tent. Even beyond that, if you are not a fan of yurts and you're not a fan of teepees or RVs or personal tents, they even have small cabins here at this location that you can rent. Cabins. So you got everything from from beds to air conditioning to even small kitchenettes and bathrooms right in there. But if you ask me, that kind of defeats the whole purpose of Sukkot. The purpose of Sukkot is to gather together as believers and tabernacle, which is an image of either building a tabernacle or dwelling in a sukkah or a tent, having a tent cover you. So getting a cabin is kind of defeats the purpose. But if you want to get, say, a teepee, and you're willing to pay the price yourself for the teepee, well, that's available to you if that's something you'd like to do. But this is the area, this is the field that we're looking to rent. It's pretty much this upper portion. Even here on this field, as part of the campsite, would be our very own volleyball net over there. And this is just me. I gotta be honest with you, and this is something that I've said in previous videos. I think I talked about this the last year for Sukkot. I'm not a big camper myself. I really am not. I'm not a huge fan of camping, and a lot of it is that roughing it stuff. I'm not really a roughing it kind of guy. And one of the things that I don't like about camping is that you generally wherever you're going to be setting up your tent, the ground is usually uneven. It has, bumps and divots and all these other issues. Or it's on gravel, so you got rocks, you're trying to sleep at night and you got these rocks, jutting into your back, and it's really not all that comfortable. But that's not the case here. Look at this. This is the field. This is the area that we would be renting, that we would be renting for Sukkot as a group. Big, nice, open field. That's flat and nice, soft grass. You can't beat this. As far as camping and an individual personal tent or a family tent, this is as good as it gets. This is wonderful. This is great. And if you do happen to have an RV, whether small or large, well, that's okay, because there are RV hookups, a total of 6 of them on this particular group campsite. So we've got RV hookups, we've got, as part of our campsite, we've got water, we have a fire pit over there. Let's see, there's the fire pit right there. We've got a personal pavilion that you can just see us gathering together there in the evenings for devotionals, scripture study, just gathering together just to have wonderful conversation. Just a nice covered pavilion. We have got power hookups. So there's really no excuse for you guys out there who are terrified of roughing it. This, once again, is not roughing it. This is not roughing it at all. You've got electricity out here. So for you out there who you can't divorce yourself from your iPhone or your iPad for a week or your laptop computer for a week, well, bring those things along and you've got power hookups. It's all here. It's all here. Gorgeous location, open field, soft grass, RV hookups, sports of volleyball, basketball, swings. We got a pavilion, we've got a fire pit, we've got water. It's all here. It's all here. This is a wonderful location. It's the first time that I personally have seen it. Now, this brother who introduced me to this location, and this was really his idea of coming together at this location as a body in Yeshua to celebrate Sukkot this year. He's been here before. He's camped here before multiple times in the past, and every time it's just been a wonderful blessing, for him and his family. It's a great location. Great location. Beautiful trees. So on these hot days, it's actually, quite toasty today. I want to say the temperature right now is, probably 90 degrees. I've been sweating a little bit, but gorgeous trees, shady trees, protect you from that hot, scorching sun. But once again, the time that we're actually looking to celebrate is going to be end of September. End of September, so you're looking at daytime temperatures of, 75, just nice, comfortable, warm. Maybe it'll get into the high 70s, early, low 80s perhaps, but it's not going to be hot during the day. It'll just be nice and warm. It will get cool, and if not, maybe even a little chilly in the evenings and at night. But that's okay. You can bring your coats and your sweaters and extra clothing to keep you warm at night. But that's one of the best things about celebrating Sukkot at some hot springs. At some hot springs. You get chilly, go jump in the hot springs. And when I saw these hot springs, I'm just like, you know what? That calls to me. I am a big time, we'll call me a big time lover of hot tubs, of soaking. There's just not much more that I find to be so wonderful and relaxing as just soaking in a nice hot tub. And what could be better than soaking in a hot tub that God created? It's a natural hot spring. Now, it's been, the humans have obviously come in and they've put cement around it, so they formed it into more of a swimming pool type setting. But it's still, the water itself, naturally warm, naturally hot. And they have two areas that the first larger swimming pool area is just warm water. We're not talking hot tub temperature. We're not talking 102, 104 degree Fahrenheit temperatures. Just warm water. And that's right here. That's right here. Gorgeous swimming pool. Warm water. Fun for the kids, fun for the whole family. Look at this. You've got a water slide over there. You've got a nice big water slide right there. There's even just a little kiddie slide behind that. And all of it dumps right here into the main swimming pool, which is not hot, but is warm. Just great warm water. That's the main swimming pool. But then when we come around over here to this side, we actually come to the main hot pools, as they're called. These are the hot pools. Oh, let's see if I can get a better shot there. There you go. The hot pools. And yeah, right now, these things don't look all that pleasing because the temperature is quite hot. So hopping in these hot pools doesn't seem all that great. But end of September, even the first and second day of October, when it's just warm in the day and cool, if not cold, in the evenings, oh, this is where you're gonna find me for sure. Just soaking in these amazing hot tubs. And yeah, that whole thing, that whole length right there, just at one big, massive hot tub. I'm gonna walk around further so that you can actually get a better view from up top. Walking over here. Alright, let's come up here. Yeah, look at that. Nice and toasty warm. We asked one of the employees that works here, and they were saying that the temperature of the water is pretty much standard hot tub temperature. It fluctuates from about 104 to about 106 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's nice and toasty warm all year round. The main pool over here, slides, just a great time. And that's pretty much it. I know that because I'm on the road right now, I'm traveling, it's not, I'm not coming to you today so much with a video teaching as I normally do, but I knew that this video did need to be created. It needed to be created because we've got Sukkot coming up. It's about 5-6 weeks from now, and this is the first time, at least in my life, that I've been given the opportunity to gather together with a body of believers to celebrate Sukkot. I have, at one time in the past, I have gathered together with a body of believers to celebrate Pentecost, or the Feast of Weeks, or in Hebrew, Shavuot, and that was an amazing experience. I had a wonderful time doing that. That was, I want to say that was in the summer of 2014, maybe 2015. I can't exactly remember which year, but it was 4, perhaps 3 years ago that I did that. Wonderful experience. But that was only a one-day event. No, Sukkot, if you're looking at the full event, including the 8th day, the last great day, or Shemini Atzeret, that's tacked on at the end, the high Sabbath there, that's at the end of the Feast of Sukkot, it's 8 solid days, 8 full days of celebrating, of being with friends, family, loved ones, fellow believers, just for a good time. That's what it's about. It's about coming together and having fun. That's what I'm looking forward to. That's what I want to do. I want to come together and have some fun. And this is the location where we've determined to do it. And I just hope that in watching this video, just getting a glimpse of what this place has and what it can offer, hopefully you've been inspired and you want to participate. Once again, if you do participate, there's a few things that are going to be expected of you, which I don't think is asking too much. Certainly I don't believe it's asking too much. If you do participate, then you will be expected to just chip in for the cost of the camping area, the whole group area that I showed you earlier. If you were to rent out that entire area yourself, just you, as one single individual, that whole area that I showed you earlier is $270 a night. And you're like, whoa, $270 a night. Yeah, that's if one person is chipping in. But if you have a dozen people, and all 12 or all 15 people individually are all chipping in, all helping out, then it's nothing. It's cheap. It's pennies, certainly, for what you're getting at this location. So once again, Downata Hot Springs, you'll be expected to chip in to cover the cost of just the renting that group area. If you would like anything beyond that, if you would like to rent a teepee or a yurt, or you'd like to even go full on, I'm going to rent a cabin, kind of defeats the purpose of Sukkot. But if that's something you'd like to do, and if that's the only thing that would actually get you out here to celebrate Sukkot with us is a cabin, well then great, get a cabin. it will, you will be expected to, cover that additional cost yourself if that's something you would like to do for you and your family. But this is just, come on out here with us. Come on out here, celebrate with us, and I just know that we're going to have a great time. Bring your own food. Bring your own food. We hope to, gather together every night for dinner, and we can get some, do a kind of a potluck style meal, but you're still going to be expected to bring your own food. Bring your own tent, your own sleeping bags and pillows and all of that stuff, just like as if you were going camping yourself. But if you're willing, once again, just to chip in for the overall cost of renting the campsite, then we can come together as believers at this beautiful location, and we can reap the benefits of celebrating the feasts and festivals of Yehovah together as a body of believers. And that is my hope. I'm excited. I'm excited. If you can't see it, well, then I'm sorry for not expressing it as well as I should, because the truth is, I am excited. I am very excited, and I hope that you're excited too. If you would like to join us, all you need to do is send me a private message on Facebook, either to my Mormon Warrior page or the Sword of Yehovah Facebook page. Shoot me a private message saying that you want to come, you want to participate, that how many people are going to be joining you, whether it's just going to be yourself or whether it's going to be you, your wife, children, however many are going to be joining you. Send me a private message. I will shoot you a direct link invitation. Follow the link, confirm that you are going to be participating, and when you confirm that you'll be participating, just know that that includes the knowledge that you're going to just chip in a little bit as far as the cost is concerned. The more people that we can get to come, the cheaper it's going to be. That's just the way it is. The more people that can join us, the cheaper it will be. And then get yourself out here to Downata Hot Springs, September, basically 22nd, 23rd. The details are going to be on the actual Sukkot page that will be sent to you. Get yourself out here and let's have fun this year. That's my hope, and I hope that it's your hope as well. So, Jake Hilton here with the Sword of Yehovah Ministries, having come to you from Downata, however they pronounce it, Downata Hot Springs in northern Utah, and hope to see all of you this Sukkot. Until then, shalom.